Okay. There we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to BBC. We're doing the do's and don'ts of holiday selling. It is October 3rd, Monday night, and we are going to be talking about some things to do and things not to do for the holiday selling season. And before I hit record, I started sharing that the reason why I felt so strongly about doing this was because I've made a lot of mistakes, especially when I first started. I feel like I made a lot of mistakes with my holiday selling and maybe didn't put some emphasis on some things that I should have and put too much emphasis on some other things. So I thought it'd be a fun thing to go through and use what I learned. Yes, Miriam? Are you raising your hand?
Is Carrie Smith one of your people?
Yes, yes.
She's joining my Zoom room, which I'm not even there, so.
Hey, Sarah, would you mind popping in our group chat and letting her know where it is?
Thank you. Sorry, I just
No,
didn't
that's
want,
okay.
I was like, Carrie Smith, is that somebody I should know?
I got it.
Thank you. I put it in there, but
Thank you.
no, thanks, Miriam. I appreciate
Sorry
it.
to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. That's who I was waiting on. So yeah. So I wanted to go through some things that are what I learned along the way. I've been doing this 4 years. I just hit my anniversary, and I feel like there are some good things that I can share. So we're gonna jump right in. I'm going to run through this like I know we always say do the positives first. I feel like you should focus on the positive, but I'm going to do some of the don'ts, the things not to do, and then go over to okay, here's what to do. Makes sense. Okay, so we're going to start with bookings. Bookings. The first don't is please don't wait until November to start booking holiday parties, right? Don't wait until the last minute. Don't wait until Black Friday. Don't wait. Just get started. And the thing to do is, and that actually goes hand in hand with don't start booking November until your October is where you want it to be. So they kind of go hand in hand, right? Do make sure you book early. Okay. I mentioned that the holiday selling season, in my opinion, really starts on October 1st because what I always tell my hosts, people are shopping early and they're shopping online and they're shopping often, but they're shopping early, especially with the last couple of years that we've had where there were some shortages and some delays with shipping. I feel like people are really getting in there early and getting their shopping done before Black Friday even hits. I feel like I waited a long time to in prior years to book my parties. Thinking, oh, well, the holiday selling season starts when? Black Friday. No. I feel like Pampered Chef, for my Pampered Chef business, my selling season was almost wrapping up by that point. I had a much more successful selling season last year than I had in the prior couple. And that's one thing that I really focused hard on was booking early, making sure that I book early in October. And if somebody was really adamant that they couldn't do it in October, I say, okay, let's get you going really early in November so we can make sure we hit everybody before their shopping lists are already complete, right? Makes sense. Do utilize our current host special and our sale on stoneware because that is an amazing, amazing special to market to pretty much everybody. Everybody loves our stoneware. There's a reason why it is the most popular item that we sell, one of the first items that we ever carried. So do remember and utilize that host special and the sale when booking your parties. It can sound something like, oh my goodness, this month we have a sale. And I actually did start reaching out to people with this saying, oh my goodness, Pampered Chef just announced that all of their unglazed stoneware is on sale, and you can stack the savings with the host rewards for this month. It's amazing. You can get a pizza stone for, I think we figured out was $17 when normally it would cost $50, or you can get all 3 pieces in the stoneware starter set for less than the cost of just the pizza stone, like way less than the cost of the pizza stone itself. That's amazing. Shop for everybody, right? And they can choose up to 2 pieces of stoneware at 60% off. So that is just a really great special. Also, remember, guys, I forgot about this until just recently, and Sarah can attest to this. Don't forget about cooking parties. People are ready to get back together, especially facing the holiday season. They want to learn some appetizers. They want to talk to other people in person and not on a screen. So don't forget about the cooking parties. If you're not comfortable having a cooking party, make everything ahead if you needed to and just show them what you used, and just have a couple things that you've already made and just have a social. Don't worry about it being super high, high stress, or don't get all anxious about it. Just do what you're comfortable with. But remember that people really want to get together right now. So don't forget about that, especially this time of year. Since people are going to be hosting parties in their homes, I feel like maybe a little bit more than they have in the prior couple of years. I feel like people are getting back together, so they might want some really good ideas. Also, remind people if they are not wanting any stoneware. If you reach out to somebody, don't forget about your booking objections. When you reach out to somebody, if they say no, they're not, they really don't need any stoneware. What is the host special in November? It's 60% off anything, right? So don't forget, you can actually hold a party this month and carry it over, keep it open until November 1st, close it out November 1st, and they can choose 60% off of anything. Or if you get an extra, if you get up to $650, you can choose two of any item or set. It's pick your own sale month, and they can close it out in November and get that special. So really, be creative with that and think about every single objection that comes in as a possible yes, not as a no. Which brings me into the next item. Oh, and that I did want to mention also, if you're talking to somebody and they mention that there is something big that they want the cookware, they want the knives. I just had somebody just messaged me before I got on here saying, I need to order some new knives. Can I do that through you? I'm like, yeah, but you better believe I'm going to be talking to her about having a party, because oh my goodness, come November 1st, you can get that puppy for 60% off. And who doesn't want that, right? So really listen to people when they're talking about things that they have on their wish list. Never assume. Oh, here's another don't. Don't assume, right? Don't assume people are too busy or they weren't interested if they don't reply. People are forgetful, right? I'm super forgetful. People are busy. People are just running around crazy after their kids, trying to, keep up with I'm getting millions of emails from different schools. I've got 3 different schools, 4 different teachers. I can't keep up with it. So always assume that the person that you're reaching out to just missed your message. Isn't that a better way to assume? Assume that they want to have a party, but they missed your message, and just send a friendly, like, hey, I didn't want to drop the ball. Hey, I just wanted to follow up because, this special is so good. And you mentioned you wanted some stoneware, or you mentioned you wanted the deluxe multi-cooker. So, I just wanted to reach out. Remember also that we have options for everybody. If there's somebody who doesn't like to host parties, well, we have these really great shared rewards parties that they can share. They can bless their friends with a discount off their entire order. And who doesn't need to save some money right now? Also, don't forget about fundraisers. This time of year, people are really looking to give to certain charities, especially with what was happening in Florida and all the way up the coast. We're doing double fundraisers in October for Feeding America, I think, for people that were affected by the hurricanes. So really, make sure you tie that in. You can be posting some things on your wall in your VIP group about that, or just mentioning it to people that say, I really don't like to have parties, or I don't think my friends have, an interest in doing a party. Well, remember, there are fundraisers. I know that there are so many organizations out there that are needing to raise some money right now. I feel like the fundraising efforts are still so much lower than they've been in previous years. I know for my kids' marching band, for Cub Scouts, for this and schools and this and that, there are so many different options for people that might not want to have a traditional host rewards party. Also, even if they're busy, if they say, I'm too busy, don't forget, you can give them the options of some of our alternative types of parties. Maybe a link party, a link tree party, or I do a mini web party from Canva, a 15-minute express party on Messenger or text. You can use Project Broadcast for some of that. Katie, you mentioned the Project Broadcast group on Facebook. There is a whole bundle that you can get from Christina Bailey that is her texting party, and it's amazing. So you can do that, and it's just totally hands off. You can do these other kinds of parties as an alternative to somebody who says, I just don't have that much time to spend on a party. So, sorry, my mouth's dry. Okay, here's another one. When we're talking about bookings, don't get lazy, right? I'm gonna hide my face on that. Make sure when you do have a party, especially this month, but also looking at parties from September, that you're making the most of every single guest in every single party. Make sure you've established a two-way conversation. If you're on Facebook, make sure you're reaching out to people on table in a personal way with every single guest in every party. I've heard so often from so many people that I'm asking the same people over and over and over again, right? Who feels like they're asking the same people over and over and over again? The answer to that is growing your circle. Okay, the easiest way to grow your circle is take every single guest that's in a party and make the most out of every single guest. Like, see every single one of them as the opportunity to grow out into a completely new direction in your circle, because that's where it happens. And if you still feel like you're asking the same people, then find some new people to ask. I know that sounds, duh. But do a pamper your business type of party. Bring somebody some treats, bring them some brownie bites, or bring them something on some stoneware. Bring them some, one of the braids or the rings on a stoneware, and ask somebody if you can collect some orders, drop off some catalogs with it and collect some orders. So grow your circle that way. Another don't for this selling season, don't get frustrated, right? I was there today too, right? Don't get frustrated. Keep asking. Don't take it personally if somebody says no. Don't take it personally if somebody says nothing at all. Remember, they're busy. Remember, it's also a numbers game. The more people you ask, the closer you're going to get to that yes. The more no's you hear, or the more people that don't write back, the closer you are to that next yes. And don't be afraid to get creative with your solutions. Think about think about the new fall and holiday, offer a new fall or holiday product. Couldn't even read my writing. Offer a new fall or holiday product with a qualifying party. Offer to buy ingredients for a cooking party. Offer to buy ingredients for a kids baking party. How fun would that be? A cupcake making party with our new cupcake set. Maybe you could even pre-sell some of those, or wouldn't that be a great Christmas gift for some kids under the tree? I know I gave my oldest the cookie baking set when it was out, and she loved that, and she uses that nonstop. Like, she uses that to this day. I actually bought 2 more before they were discontinued, because I think she's gonna bring it with her when she goes and moves out someday. And I feel like a lot of times, I know for me, I get frustrated more when I make it about me. When I feel like, oh, nobody's booking parties from me, nobody's answering me. So don't make it about you. Realize that you have something very, very valuable to give other people. And that's recipes for the holidays. That's products that they can get at a discount that they're going to use this holiday season. That's gifting for people. You have ideas and solutions to problems that they have. So realize that it's not about you. It's just reaching them in the right moment and the timing, getting that timing right. And that can only happen when you ask, right? And don't leave any stone unturned, and don't leave any follow-up unturned. Make sure you're following up with every single person that you contact. I know I've been guilty of that lately with certain types of asks. When I'm green dotting or something like that, I'm not following up. And I realized, well, that's kind of silly. Here I am following up with people for their birthday messages, but when I'm green dotting, I'm not. So really think about if there's some stone you're leaving unturned in your system, in your process. Okay, that's all about booking, which is a big part. I feel like that's the meat and potatoes of what we do is the booking. If you don't have bookings, you're going to be struggling with your business. So we're moving into selling. Okay. One thing, I think this is where I got into some trouble my first couple of years, is I tried to reinvent the wheel. I was trying to come up with these really great snazzy specials, like buy this, get this free, buy this, get this free. I think my first or second I think it was my first or second Black Friday. I had a different special for every hour going into Black Friday. I was sitting at my mother-in-law's and she had no cell service, no Wi-Fi. I was making myself crazy and no one was there. No one bought anything because I don't feel like I attacked it the right way. Um, People are inundated with offers on Black Friday. And I feel like it's using your time smarter to keep that in mind and not focus so much on Black Friday itself and creating like new images, going into Canva and taking hours to create new images when I could take that and put it into income producing activities. So there are already so many people creating images. There's so many resources out there from Pampered Chef. There are so many gifting ideas from Pampered Chef. You can even do a screenshot of the holiday gifting catalog, the holiday gift guide. You could do a screenshot of that spread and you've got an instant image. There's so many options. They just give us so much. So be smart with your time, especially when you're talking about sales promotion and things like that. Use that time for personal messages instead of using that time going down the rabbit hole of Canva or going down the rabbit hole of different creative specials that you're going to run. Don't get stuck. Keep yourself in creative mode. I feel like I got stuck in sort of some ruts during the holidays. Keep yourself creative. Host your own shared rewards party. That was the key to my success last season. Was right before the deadline, the holiday deadline, and our deadline is really late this year. They came out with it. It's what, the 18th, I believe. Miriam, is that right?
Say that again.
The shipping deadline for Christmas, isn't it like the 18th?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
they'll send it out here in a few weeks, probably.
Oh, I think they did. Or was
I just
looking at-
posted it. I just posted it today on Addis also.
Oh.
Yeah, I had just posted it on mine
It's
too.
December 18th.
18th, yeah. So that is super
That's late.
That is late.
Boy, they have a lot of
Confidence.
confidence that they're going to get everything out in time. That's
As
awesome.
we say, they have a lot of chutzpah, don't they? No, they are really doing well getting stuff out, and they're really confident with that, and that's so great. But use your time wisely leading up to that. Host your own shared rewards party. Think about, okay, I've got a week before the deadline, and put together a shared rewards party. I actually think I put together a couple of them last year because some people missed it. And use your personal reach outs to make sure that each person in your customer base knows about that shared reward discount that they can utilize. Go live with some different gift ideas. Go live with stoneware this month. Go live with some things and say how much they can get it next, in November. Great gift ideas for people. Let people realize that you have so many gift ideas that are under $35. If you look at the holiday gift guide, it gives us under $15 items, under $35 items for different categories of gifting. And how cool is that? And then you're going to see so many images that people put out along with the Pampered Chef website that show you different gift ideas. One place you can also look for posts about gifts is the Pampered Chef blog. Make sure you're utilizing that, post that in your VIP groups, get ideas from there. Keep an eye on the Pampered Chef Facebook page because they post some amazing things, especially leading up to Christmas. They will come out with, I would assume, a Black Friday special. We haven't heard what that is yet, but they'll post so many great images then. Use what they give us. But don't be afraid to get creative. Host an open house event, right, Sarah? Host an open house event in your home. Do a appetizer tasting. Find some very easy, cheap appetizers and put them together and invite people over to your house for a recipe night, a meal prep workshop. We don't stop eating just because it's the holidays, so people still need to have dinners to prepare. You can even go into some of the Pampered Chef Facebook groups and you'll find images on this, so don't create it yourself, but sponsor a teacher. See if people will sponsor a teacher, sponsor a first responder, sponsor a mom during the holidays, and where you actually take orders for, let's say, the make and take jar full of, different things. Some really great ideas on different gifting like that for a specific group of people. So that's just some ways to get creative with it. And my biggest tip would be don't give up when the deadline is approaching, or even if you don't have parties scheduled right up until the deadline or going into December. Know your deadlines, but also know that there are options like shared rewards parties, like using the Black Friday specials when they come out, plus personal reach outs. Just don't give up, like keep reaching out until that very last minute. And when all else fails, don't forget that December, the week after Christmas, so December 26th to December 31st is still December. It's still December. People are out of work for the holidays a lot of times. People are home with nothing to do. They're watching football, they're eating leftovers. They have all this ham and all this turkey they don't know what to do with. Keep that in the back of your mind. I book a ton of parties. I really try to book up that week like crazy, because our January special is usually a really good one. It's usually double host rewards. And a lot of times that first 15 days, that first half of January, they give you your host an extra little something. So I try to book some New Year's parties. And we'll talk about maybe that a little bit later, closer to it. But I do a New Year's week party, and really try to get a lot of people excited during that, because people are looking for food ideas, and then they're looking for healthy eating or money saving ideas into January. It's a great week for parties. So don't forget about that last week in January also. Last thing I wanted to go over, and I know we're close to time, but this is a short one, is recruiting. Don't forget recruiting. That's my tip for recruiting. Don't forget recruiting. Don't forget to offer the business to every single host. If you have a guest in a party who is like, I just love Pampered Chef, I wish I had everything in the catalog, you should be asking them about the business before really asking them to host the party, because they love it. They could be making money. If you have somebody in a party who says, I love this stuff, I just can't afford to buy anything, light bulb should go off. And that should be somebody that you talk to about the business and see if it's right for them. Especially because this month we do have a $25 kit, which means they can either do $25 out of their pocket and just get a real basic startup kit, or they can host the party beforehand and get that kit for free with a $25 kit credit. One thing, I always am trying to mention to the people that are interested in joining the business, if you can afford that $25, do that instead of hosting your party and then using a kit credit, because you could be making a lot more on that party than just the $25 or $50 kit credit. I'd rather you make the money on it rather than inviting all your friends, because these are their friends. So I would rather them make the money on it. So go for that big fish first, we say, go ask them that first. And they say a lot of times people are less likely to say no twice. So if they are not interested in the business, then they're more likely to say yes to a party. They obviously love Pampered Chef, or you won't even be talking to them about the business. So just think about that, and don't assume that they're financially great or they don't have enough time, or they're just not interested in doing something like Pampered Chef for some extra money. You don't know if they're trying to go debt free and not put any money, put any Christmas gifts or anything on debt. That was the biggest change for me when I started Pampered Chef, was using that money toward Christmas gifts and not putting it on credit cards. That was huge. That was huge for us. One other thing that I've actually mentioned to a couple people already, and I have two people that are interested in doing this. And this idea actually came from Tina a while ago. It was somebody who, we had a special kit, like a $25 kit at the time, and they couldn't afford the $25 kit. And she had come up with this idea, and so I've adapted it. And I basically have told them, you know what, if you get 4 names of people who are willing to have a party in, this month, in your first month, they're willing to get going and have this party for you, I'll buy your kit for you. So that's just one other option. I do have one host that is struggling with the money right now. And I said, you know what, $25, and I'll, if you have 4 people that are willing and you give me their names, not that I would reach out to them, but, and you write down their names and when they're going to have a party, we even talked about the dates for that, then I will buy your kit for you, that $25 kit. So how cool is that? Another thing to think about, I have somebody who is interested in stoneware, and she's like, oh, I can't decide which one I want. And she's the one who's having a little trouble with getting the money together for a kit. I said, well, if you get the $200 in sales, remember, and just with the $200 party, they automatically get a $25 kit, right? She's already has a party going. So I said, if you get to $200 and you get that $25 kit, if you give me 4 names, I'll bump it up and get you the stoneware kit, the stoneware bundle. So just another option to think about. So I think that's all I have. Yes, any questions or ideas or thoughts? Feel free to unmute yourself and just share some ideas.
That was so good, Heather. You gave so much information. So many things to think about.
Thank you. I was going to do a PowerPoint thing with the don'ts and the do, and I was like, no. Put your time where it needs to go, right? Be smart with your time. Any questions or ideas? Awesome. All right. Well, if there is nothing else, oh my gosh, we're almost on time. How can that be? Because I talk really fast.
It's awesome.
Thank
So
you,
if-
Heather.
yes, thank you all for being here, and reach out to your director, reach out to me if you need any further explanation about something that I've just ran through too fast. But we're all here for you. All right.
Thank you.
All
Heather,
right.
Heather, can you stay on for a minute? I want to ask you something.
Yes. All right, everybody.
Okay.
Bye.